My name is Angela Post. I am the Director of Admissions at the AbleLight College Ann Arbor campus. I am a board-certified behavior analyst. I have been in the field of disability for over 10 years. I've served clinically, and I've also volunteered as a short-term missionary with families with disability. Most of my experience comes from early intervention. However, I am passionate about providing skills to our students to have independence. And that's why I'm so excited to be a part of this team here at AbleLight, where the goal is to have your child ready to live independently. AbleLight College first started at Concordia University, Wisconsin in 2017. As a result of the success of that program, we have started the AbleLight College in Ann Arbor, which happens to also be in a close partnership with Concordia, Wisconsin. And we are super excited that our first class will be starting in fall 2022. In today's webinar, we are going to talk about how you and your child can get ready for college. We are going to be meeting with some of my colleagues at the Wisconsin campus at Concordia University, Wisconsin, and they will share their experiences of working with parents and students just like you. Now we're going to turn it over to Taylor.
Thank you. My name is Taylor, and as a job coach, my job is to go with them to their internships. I'm there for comfort for them. It can be scary to go into a new job, not knowing anyone, not knowing who your coworkers are, your boss is, what your expectations are. So being able to have a friendly face right next to you or in the distance, depending on the level of independence. As time goes on, I usually progress and more in the background and shadowing them as they get more independent. So each day is different, brings a new adventure. So it's really exciting.
What are some tips that you think students and parents need to know before coming to college?
Yeah, so I think it's really important if they have some experience going into college, whether that's they volunteered somewhere, they've worked somewhere, they've worked with other people, just kind of more independently, not even just by themselves, but in a group setting of being able to communicate with each other, other people, express how they're feeling at work. If they're overwhelmed, to be able to tell someone or their boss that, being able to advocate for themselves. And I've really seen a lot of growth through our program with that. You could reach out to the YMCAs, are really great places for students to work. Even like Goodwill, they can get some retail practice in. I know some restaurants are willing to take on students who are willing to work. And I think a great person to reach out to would be your guidance counselor at your high school. They have some really great opportunities and great connections within your community that would be able to help you with that.
Great suggestions. What are some thoughts you have for parents of incoming students?
For sure. I think it's a hard transition for any parent whose child is going to school. For my parents, it was really hard. I'm an hour and a half away from school, and it's a hard thing. Parents, you're used to being with your child all the time, caring for them. It's scary because you're not going to be their primary person, their primary go-to when they're at school, and that is okay. That's how they're going to learn, and that's how they're going to be independent. So I think the biggest thing for parents is to let your child struggle. Put them in situations where they have the opportunity to grow before they get to school. You can help them, assist them as they're going through that struggle, but that's going to help them learn and grow to the best of their ability. And I think that's something that's really important. It's hard to see your kids struggle, but if you're able to kind of control that environment first, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable once they're off at school and they've already been through situations where they've struggled, but overcome those struggles and learn those strategies for themselves. And now they'll be able to apply it when you're not with them all the time. A way that you could do that is by volunteering with them. They can be taking over the lead role of that volunteering, and you can be there watching them. I think the biggest thing is when students feel overwhelmed, if they haven't learned the correct coping strategies for how to deal with the tough things, I've seen that be probably the biggest concern when job coaching. If they haven't had that opportunity to learn and grow at home or in their environment at school, like their classes in high school. They really do have a tough time of getting through their workday. And a lot of it has to do with like stamina of being able to attend to a task for a certain period of time. The internships that they go to are typically 2 hours. So that is a long time to be able to focus and attend to the same task. Some of the jobs that they have are repetitive and can be boring at times, but as they learn and progress their skills, they're able to take on more responsibility and then hone in on those skills that they've already learned.
Great tips, Taylor. Anything else you want to add before we turn it over to Brianna?
Yeah. Well, if you couldn't already tell in my voice, I'm super passionate about what I do, and the people who I work with are just as passionate as me. And we really care about each and every student. Yeah, I don't get to work with all of them all the time, but there's random situations that pop up throughout the day when I'm there. And I just like get excited about being able to help them in any way that I can. And I think we have really awesome employees who are willing to do the same thing. They'd give any student their shirt off their back if they needed it. And it's just a really cool atmosphere to be a part of.
Taylor, thank you so much for sharing your experience with all of us. It's really helpful.
Thanks for having me.
Next, we're going to turn it over to my colleague, Brianna.
My name is Brianna Reistad, and my title here at the college is I am the Director of Internships, and I'm also the Career Prep Instructor. My role is to help teach our students the skills that they need to maintain and obtain employment. And so the focus of our program is we're going out, we're teaching them all these hard and soft and social skills, and then we're helping them develop all these healthy relationships so that they can communicate with their boss, they can talk with their coworkers or a customer, and really maintain that, good work ethic. Our career prep curriculum is really focused on helping students explore what their interests are. And then we also help them build in the skills they're going to need to be successful at that type of a job.
What are some tips you'd like to share as parents and students get ready for college?
Oh, college is such a fun and exciting time, and there's a lot of things that you could do to help feel more ready or prepared or more confident coming in. I think the biggest thing would be to get exposure to different things. We've had parents expose their student to different camp settings so that they have experience staying away from home for a longer period of time and getting an idea of what college life may look like. So we have a summer program coming up, and a lot of our incoming students will attend that to get a little idea of what is in store for them in the fall. Another way to prepare would be to just have a simple overnight stay at a hotel with your family, because we want students to try to get acclimated to being in a new environment. You're not going to have the same bed, and your bathroom may be set up a little differently. So just having that exposure to other environments, I think, would be really helpful to get them a little more adjusted to their new routine when they come here. I think it's really helpful coming into the program to start establishing some routines in the summer to help you be successful for college. And what that may look like is looking at a copy of your incoming schedule and trying to wake up on time. So if you need to be at work at 9 o'clock, try to set some alarms and be up by 7 o'clock so you can complete all of your hygiene tasks, get your outfit ready for work, and be on time to make sure that you are on time for work. If we already know they're going to be working Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 until 4, ask your student to set an alarm and be somewhere at 8 o'clock and stay there until 4 so they can practice being away that long, standing on their feet that long, and figuring out what they're going to need to do throughout the day to get through it. So for example, if you have a student that needs breaks throughout the day, maybe they could start planning, okay, I need to take a break every 2.5 hours, and start taking note of that so that when we're building a job for you here on campus, we can take that information and find you a good match. As far as socializing goes, I really encourage any student coming in to find some different peers groups this summer and attend as many as you can. There's so many opportunities to make friendships here on campus. And in Wisconsin, I always say that we like to talk about, the weather. That's our small talk. But if you can learn the skills to connect or communicate with the other students here on campus, take it a step further. Find different topics to ask the friend. So I have a couple of students take a little Rolodex with them with different conversation starters. One of them says, what are you currently watching on Netflix? Another one may say, what is your favorite color? Another one might talk about, hey, where did you grow up? Or how many people did you have in your family? Those are good things to get a conversation started so that you can start to develop a relationship with your friends here.
Thanks, Brianna, for talking about having a Rolodex of questions. I honestly had never thought about that. Do you have any last tips to share?
So for any incoming students, I do recommend prior to coming, you research your local vocational resource department. Here in Wisconsin, it is called DVR, the Department of Vocational Resources, which is a program available to individuals that meet their criteria. So students that may need assistance maintaining or obtaining a job, learning some job skills, potentially getting some funding for your tuition. I highly recommend reaching out to whoever that provider is to see what services your student may be eligible for.
Thanks again, Brianna. Here are some things to consider to know whether or not your child is ready for college. So there's like normal things like toileting. You must be able to do that by yourself, self-care, and self-care includes shaving. That includes washing your hair, brushing your teeth, those sorts of skills. Transportation and mobility, that includes walking from campus, around campus, following a schedule, and utilizing community transportation. We will help your student learn how to ride a taxi or get a Lyft/Uber, and we will help set up alarms to know when and where to be. One thing I recommend is making sure that your student is able to take medications on their own. And what is the dosage and what is the frequency of the dosage? One piece of technology I recommend is a smart med dispenser. You can set an alarm of what time that should be taken, and that will provide your student opportunity to be more independent when it comes to medication administration. They must have their own debit card. The reason for that is because your student will be making purchases on campus and off campus, and being able to access that on their own allows them to be more independent. One thing I love about our campus is that no one's a stranger for very long. Our students, and I can confidently say our students will be seen and noticed by all and accepted. Concordia is a very welcoming environment, and it's genuine welcoming. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you learned as much as I did today. If you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to reach out. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Have a great rest of your day.